Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer Tournament. We have for you right now on Speed Gaming 2 a race between Trojandude12 and ogNdrahcir, or Richard, as it says right there. This is, of course, the last race in a best of three between these two runners. The winner will advance in the brackets, while the other is out of the tournament. Commentating this race for you tonight, my name is Shed, and I'm joined by my friend Aiko. How are you?
I'm doing great, or I was doing great, and then I noticed that Trojandude12 is actually seeded 13. You know, if he had gotten seeded one higher, he would have matched his name. That would have been so good.
That would have been very good, actually, yeah.
Really, really unfortunate, but also, yeah, we've got this bracket up here, so as you can see, these two are in the preliminary round because they were not, because of where they were seeded, and the winner of this gets to face Covert Muffin in the round of 16, so that's going to be pretty spooky no matter who wins. Muffin known for being pretty good at the randomizer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, both of these runners are quite good at the randomizer. If Richard is a little bit new, Trojan is a little bit more experienced in terms of time played, but they are both very good Ori players nonetheless. But Muffin is definitely a scary opponent. So they will be headed to that after this race, but we still have to finish this race right now.
Yeah, and we had two very good races from these runners, two very different races yesterday evening. The first race was very close. We saw our runners both play very well. Route pretty similarly. They had like a split up and then a backtrack and rejoined. It was a very close race. Definitely worth watching. And then the second race was just, one of those races where things just sort of go wrong and nobody's happy except for maybe the viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. There was that second race. It was definitely fun to watch, although it definitely did not seem like it was fun to play for those two. But I do recommend the watch. In any case, both runners have taken a win in this best of three, so we advance to the third game. That's kind of how that whole thing works.
All right. Thank you for that excellent commentary on how best of threes work. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Look, I've been struggling with it.
All right, we should get underway for you soon enough, and there we go. They are off.
All right, are we going to play first pickup game or first progression game? All right, what's the progression path out of Glades? Let's hear it.
Say the first pickup is 10 XP, and the first progression is Keystones. That's my guess.
All right, my guess is Keystone, and progression is also Keystones because I'm boring.
Alright, well, first pickup's a Keystone. That is probably pointing to 2 Keystones as our progression left into Glades.
Yep. And an energy cell, that'll be really nice for our runners, mostly because if it wasn't an energy cell, there would be something seriously wrong. Yeah, but also it's nice to be able to save.
That one's always an energy cell. We don't need to worry about that too much. There we go, 2 Keystones.
Yep, 2 Keystones, and we're holding X to pick up the tiny light, as it were. Got some nice mouth movement. Neither runner looks like turned on color shift, which
that's true.
Probably just means they want to be able to see their Oris.
We'll just get some nice and normal Oris for this race here.
Yeah, and it looks like that other pickup was also a Keystone, so they've got 2 Keystones, can get out of Glades, and by out of Glades I mean further into Glades. And with that Mapstone, they'll be able to not have to play that 33% guessing game if they don't find wall interaction before heading down to the wall jump area. Oh boy, that's the swamp teleporter.
Oh no. Alright, well now we have some choices here.
I think heading left makes more sense, because even without wall interaction, this area is slightly more dense than the swamp teleporter, but definitely, if they get wall interaction, especially if they get wall interaction and plant breaking, we are going to be in a situation where there are a lot of places to go to, and none of them have a lot of pickups, and you're just setting yourself up for a lot of revisits and are very sad. So yeah, oh boy, there's that plant interaction, and it's the bad kind too. So yeah, Charge Flame from Mapstone 1 is going to be great both for Richard and for Trojan. We're seeing them pretty close together as they head into this area with its remaining 2 items.
Yeah, without any wall interaction, there's not a whole lot they can do at the moment. Sort of my sadistic side kind of hopes they don't find any wall interaction because that'll force them to take the swamp teleporter, which is never really a fun time.
Okay, so here's the question. You're Richard or Trojan. Maybe not and. You're Richard or Trojan, right? You get to the wall jump tree, there's no wall interaction. You alt R. Do you go and break the wall that blocks the way to Charge Flame? Or do you teleport to Swamp? Teleporting to Swamp has more pickups, but it also sucks.
That is true. Oh my god!
Oh my god, it's Warped Return! Here we
What
go!
a wonderful pickup.
Alright, we're starting out strong. We're getting some Alt L's as Richard shows us exactly how happy he is about that Warmth Returned.
This is officially now a toasty race.
It is in fact a
Looks
toasty
like
race.
We are going to see both runners head over in the direction of that Charge Flame tree. Check the one pickup that they can check there.
Yeah, I actually...
A fair decision.
Yeah, I like this not because it's like... I mean, it is the less dense choice, but it's also kind of orphaned, and if your opponent checks this and you don't, and they find like dash or a skill here, you're sad. Whereas if you go here first, then oh my god. Okay, so that's kind of a big deal. Okay, so first of all, that's hilarious.
What a wonderful pickup to get there. That just like we took Charge Flame and immediately obsoleted. Grenade is just Charge Flame but better.
Okay, so the reason I actually think this is great though is because now they teleport to Swamp where there are 2 plants. Note that neither runner could even afford to get Charge Flame efficiency. Much less want to spend their precious few ability points. So they don't have to worry about energy to break those plants. And the Horror Field's health cell, which is reachable without any pickups, it's really annoying to get when you have 3 health, 1 energy, and just sort of have to either jump over the enemies there or Spirit Flame them. But now they can just spam grenades. They deal 6 damage apiece, have basically no cooldown, and have AoE to break swarms. So that'll make that approach a lot safer. And also make farming swarms easy, as we see Richard just completely destroying one with a couple of well-placed grenades.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, in the base game, these grenades normally cost energy, but as part of the randomizer, for various reasons, we've made them free, which, as you mentioned, makes them a fantastic little combat ability. So here's something interesting to me, is that they're going to come over here and check this when they can technically get to the map stone at the iceless area that's in this room as well, with the map they have. And if they come over here, check this, pick up, and it's nothing, they can't get back out. They don't have wall interaction.
That's true. I believe we saw Trojan. We saw at least one of them put their save on the above the ledge so that they can save scum this if it's nothing.
This jump is kind of tricky, although possible. All right, both of our runners getting in at about the same time there.
Yeah, it's not precise if you know where to stand. It's one of those jumps where, like, if you're just standing in the right place, it's easy, and if not, it's very hard. And oh my god, it stopped, so they can't even save scum it.
That is. Oh my god!
This is
you have to you can't get out of that little pit.
Yeah.
You can't get out of that pit, and you can't save scum it because it's stomp. You have to keep that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
All right, our runners showing that they're getting all these incredible combat abilities: stomp, grenade, and then I guess Charge Flame's only okay.
What do we
but
do with stomp right now?
I don't actually think it unlocks literally anything.
Yet, at least.
Yeah, yet, obviously.
You know what? Here, I'm calling this. We're gonna get clean water out of the map.
Yes. Death Gauntlet Roof.
No. Butter Cell.
Oh, I mean both.
Yes.
Really, if we get clean water and wall interaction, also valid.
Cutscene!
World's earliest Kuro cutscene. This is beautiful.
Oh my goodness, that's so good.
This is incredible.
I forgot this was here. Yeah, this cutscene only triggers if you have Stomp, of course. So coming back through this area again for both runners, now that we have Stomp, gotta watch the cutscene. And there's wall jump finally.
Yeah, wall jump from Mapstone 2. It's gonna take Trojandude a little longer to grab, and oh man, the Grotto Teleporter is. Oh no, the Grotto Teleporter's right there.
Huh.
And yeah, they have Mapstones too. They could.
I mean,
This
now
is
that
really
you have wall
open
jump,
now.
yeah, it is absolutely open. Now that you have wall jump, it's like, it's not. The Grotto Teleporter isn't terrible. Like you have the wall interaction. You can check some plants as well. Like that is probably going to be the best option. Unless Richard has a bunch of keystones, looks like he's going to head for a Spirit Caverns check. Fair enough. Pretty dense little area if a little bit out of the way, but there's always the possibility of something being there. Trojan, for his part, is going to be heading around the long way through the swamp loop.
Yeah, and I think it may actually just be a really long time before we see our runners in the same or similar areas again because of just like the sheer variety of areas that is open now. For example, did you know that the grenade tossy thing, the frog behind the door that you're supposed to throw grenades at down in Lower Blackroot, that's in Logic now.
Sure is. Sure is.
Valley Long Swim is... Oh my god,
no.
Trojan finds Dash! That's huge!
That's gigantic. Dash is going to make Trojan's check throughout the entire rest of the seed much, much faster. And it might take Richard a while to get over there just because there's so much open. There's the water vein as well. Trojan can get into the Ginzo tree. He can't do much while he's in there, but having that water vein in your back pocket for later on, knowing you won't need to look for it later, is a huge boon.
Yeah, that outer swamp proving to be incredibly valuable for Trojan. We'll see what else he finds on his way to Grotto. But yeah, I mean, I think in some ways the water vein being there is sort of good because it means that Richard can't skip that general area and miss Dash completely. But depending on when he gets the clue and when he ends up coming here, it could be a while. And every second that Trojan Dude does Dash, he can just keep gaining time. And barely gets out of the water with that level up.
All right, Richard checked a bunch of the stuff in glades near-ish to the wall jump tree that he wasn't able to get earlier without wall interaction, just sort of being pretty thorough, checking off the area, knowing that he isn't missing anything down there. We'll see if he manages to find anything useful in Spirit Caverns. Trojan, for his part, is going into Moon Grotto now.
Yeah, he actually leveled up Air Dash so that he could use this time to check this pickup above Iceless. I really like this because it's kind of orphaned at this point, and this will let him get a check earlier. I wonder, okay, he will break this and get a second energy cell. That is the first, I was going to say the first energy cell either runner has found, but it looks like Richard found one over in that Glades area as well. Both runners on 2 energies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it looks like Richard did not find quite enough keystones to head up from there. He's not going to be able to access the Grove Teleporter or the Charged Flame Tree just yet. We'll see where he decides to head next. Trojan, I would expect to see continue heading down from here. Probably do a Death Gauntlet check and then maybe Gumo's hideout.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Meanwhile, on the left, we've got Richard getting us our first look at Blackroot. And wow, we actually really only have 1 tree for each runner, which is kind of crazy considering like how many places they've been, just not places with trees, really.
Yeah, that's a good point. Of course, quick reminder, we have to visit every skill location, including the trees, before the runners are allowed to finish the seed. And yeah, it's usually pretty common that like 12 minutes in, we have 3 or so trees already, but just 1.
Yeah, them not getting wall jump until they got all these other skills, and particularly until they were in a very like pickup dense location, made the routing for what to do afterwards sort of a bit of a hard choice. And Trojan puts both his energy into that 2 energy door, so he can't glitch the cutscene and get a few extra checks in the Moon Grotto. Undeterred, he will head down here to check the mini-boss and the mapstone next to it.
Yeah, it's a pretty common sequence break to glitch that cutscene and check the water vein, the pickup to the right of it, and the pickup that's halfway down in the falling as well. They're sequence breaks, they're out of logic to do, but it's exceptionally common for runners to do that. A lot of them like to do that check. Trojan, out of energy, can't do that. Let's see if there's anything at the mini-boss.
Yep, we will see what he finds here. It is 62 experience, and he does not bother grabbing the crystal there for a bit of an energy refill. He's fine. He doesn't need energy. He's got
That's a fast enough check. When you have Stomp, it's fairly easy to take that mini-boss out pretty quickly.
Yep. We've got, on the left, we've got Richard using grenades to skip as much of Blackroot as he can. He gets to throw a little grenade. Oh, and actually, Oh no, that's the wrong platform. I was gonna be like, excellent cycles. Oh, this is the right platform, and still excellent cycles. He gets to get up on here without having to wait for that platform. And
Trojan got kind of screwed over by that Crusher here. A weird hitbox. Sometimes Ori's Crushers they just say, no, you're not living right now. And he takes a pretty quick death. Doesn't have to wait this time to collect the pickup because he knows he doesn't really need it.
Yep. He will be fine. And now we're going to find out what's down here in this little danger keystone. Like, this is a really dangerous area, right? There's crushers, there's spikes, the spider shooting you. I'm going to start calling that the danger keystone.
That's a good name for that, actually.
I really like Trojan taking the time to save here. He'd been out of energy, and if he died there, he would have had to go back to before the crushers. So he takes a second or two to avoid losing several seconds. And finds a third energy cell. And we still have no clues because this is only tree 2.
Yep. We, of course, saw something in the clue slot because Trojan has already found the water vein. It might actually be that is the first clue. You never know, but Trojan won't need that. We might be seeing a Charge Flame tree check from him right now. That sounds pretty reasonable. There we go. Meanwhile, Richard has finished up with Blackroot. He's going to be collecting his dash tree soon enough here.
Yeah, and he spent his ability points on the... oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Trojan finds Glide. That is going to be a very nice find for him. Some safety, and really nice when he heads to the left side. Richard, however, spent 2 of his ability points. Yeah, there we see he just leveled up Sea Flame Burn, and now he can use it to catch his plant in the ceiling.
But first he's going to get crushed. That's a good spot. There we go. It's just an energy cell. Probably not going to keep that one.
Yeah.
But he's checked it.
He has checked it.
I mean, maybe he does want to keep it. There you go.
I mean,
he is going to keep it.
He doesn't know it yet, but it is in logic with Glide. And we got our first clue from Trojan and the Gumon Seals in Grove. So.
Oh boy. Thanks, Seed. We totally needed that.
Hey, we know where the Gumon Seal is now.
I do want to mention that Trojan Dude found Glide. He has that. Richard doesn't have it yet. But of course, it is in a pickup that if Richard doesn't get, I will be very surprised. Richard is going to get that pickup where Glide is. So a nice weight off the back of these runners. They won't have to go hunting for Glide. They won't have to do any of the annoying Glideless strats. It's just kind of right there for them.
Yeah, that is really good. However, we are seeing Trojan just save a ton of time just everywhere with this dash pickup.
That's very true.
He almost falls there, but does get the map stone. Gets his Spirit Flame upgraded.
Yeah, unlike Glide, Dash is in a location that I'm not actually sure if Richard will ever check, so we'll have to see what happens there. And that might just be what Trojan Dude can use to finish this race, to win it, of course, is this early Dash pickup. But we'll see.
Yeah, definitely a really nice thing to have. I'm really interested to see where Trojan goes after this. I'm guessing Spirit Caverns, but I guess after Spirit Caverns is going to be the real interesting thing because he has a lot of places open to him and has seen more things than Richard owing to both. He went to higher density areas because he skipped Blackroot and just this dash, and really nice showing of how ridiculous Stomp can be with projectiles there from Trojan. It just redirects everything. A very large radius.
Yeah, while Trojan went to the higher density area, Richard went to Blackroot instead, just like you mentioned. But that's actually fine for Richard. Trojan's going to have to do Blackroot eventually, and even Dash can't really speed that up very well. The only things that can really speed it up is Grenade and then Bash and Grenade, and Trojan just has Grenade to his name at the moment. So if he decides to go with it right now, it'll take him about the same amount of time that it did Richard.
Ooh, Richard takes a death trying to get set up in the Valley entry room. He gets the grenade shot this time and decides that there's nothing there he really wants. He's going to set up a save anywhere because he does not want to watch this cutscene, which is pretty reasonable. He'll be able to backtrack up through the Charged Flame Tree area if he really needs to come back here.
A fair point. Of course, if we get a left side teleporter as well, then skipping this cutscene is very, very, very fast. So we're seeing some cleanup of the grotto area from Trojan. Seeing Richard find his Charge Flame tree, and soon enough, hopefully at least Glide.
Oh, that's nice. Trojan has enough ability points to get Charge Dash, and he uses it to rocket jump up and not have to leave behind a pickup in that spiky room.
And he's going to be able to do another rocket jump here to make this check a little bit faster.
Yep. And we'll see. Does he go for it? He's not going to go for it. He's instead going to charge flame these guys. Richard gets his glide, and I think we're going to see him set up for and then head into the Hollow Grove Spider Stack area, which we have not seen yet from Trojan.
Very true. Does look like where Richard is headed. Trojan pulled that lever to open the way to that area, but hasn't actually gone there yet. So we're going to see some new stuff from Richard. See where Trojan decides to head next. He's going to check the water vein and the pickup beyond it, which he missed earlier. Fair enough.
Yep. And we'll see what he does here. He's going to grab some energy so he can do a rekindle skip on this cutscene, saving precious seconds.
And saving some energy for later as well. Oh, there you go. Got more energy.
We've seen a lot of energy. Like, in addition to the Datch plant, which Trojan doesn't have, there is an energy he saves scum, and then a mega energy. Ooh. High energy all over the city.
That is going to allow Trojan to check a 4 energy door in this area if he so wishes. With a mega energy, I don't doubt he will.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see Trojan skip that, honestly. Like, if you're checking this pickup he's checking now, you're probably also checking the 4 energy door. Speaking of 4 energy doors, we've got Richard going for the energy glitch on this door because he only has 3.
Yeah, maybe giving it a couple tries, saying if I don't get it in those tries, then we'll just move on. But this fits pretty well in Trojan's playstyle that we've seen out of him so far. He's being very thorough in areas, coming down here, checking everything on the left side, even the stuff that's pretty long to get. He found the Forlorn teleporter, which is a thing, I suppose, that you could use if you wanted to.
Yeah, he actually tried to keep it, but was unable to do so. He just does not have enough health to get in there and get out. And even though he may want it, knowing where it is almost as good, and it's definitely not worth altaring for. So he comes to that conclusion and is going to come down here and check out this area instead.
I mean, why would you need the Forlorn teleporter when we know where the Gumon seal is, right?
Because you want a Kidu without losing 10 million years.
Going fast in a tournament race?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, clearly was not everyone's strategy, but I mean, we can't all be fast, Shed. Some of us gotta be slow.
Right, he did check behind that 4 energy door, doesn't find anything, so now he's pausing for a moment, thinking, what am I gonna do next? So that's
I think that was mostly a pause to see, should I Aldar here, or is there something I want to check that backtracking would be faster? But I mean, hey, it wasn't nothing. He found 161 experience down there.
Richard is now coming down into Moon Grotto himself. He has not been down here yet, though we've seen most of the pickups that Richard can get from Trojan. In fact, he's going to come all the way down as well. Might even see a high 5, maybe.
We might. I think Trojan might alt-R before that happens because he can only get one more thing down here, and it involves a silly path to go back around, rocket jump off the Frankie, and then backtrack over the top just to get that energy cell. So we're going to see Trojan head left again. And this time I'm really curious to see if I think we may see him follow Richard's footsteps in heading through the Spider Sack area.
Yeah, so pretty much we're kind of seeing the runners do a lot of the same stuff, albeit in a different order. The only difference really at this point is that Trojan has checked the Swamp Loop and found Dash, which has allowed him to check a lot of this faster than Richard has been able to.
Yeah, so the real question I think then is, what next? What's in logic that we've seen that we haven't seen one or the other runner check? And I think there are some things.
Seen lower Blackroot at all yet?
We have seen nothing in lower Blackroot.
I think we can get to Grenade Tree with this skill set.
We definitely can get to the Grenade Tree. We can get to a lot of things in lower Blackroot. I don't actually remember if Richard did Raziel, no, but we also haven't seen the experience up in the tree that Trojan could rocket jump to if he wants to.
Oh, not off that bird anymore.
Yeah, but there's a Frankie. There is a Frankie, can confirm. Trojan can also confirm the existence of that Frankie.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think at this point, if if I'm in these runners' shoes, I'd probably head right as Trojan, go into Spider Sack, check a bunch of things in Grove that you haven't checked yet. Richard's doing the right thing here, cleaning up in left grotto and Gumo's hideout, eventually get down to the double jump tree. But I think after that, I probably would, in fact, go to the grenade tree. We actually saw late grenade tree checks burn these runners yesterday in their race, both of them. So that might be on their minds as something to do fairly early on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. It is in logic with these skills. There's actually a decent number of pickups down there that they can get, and it's also just nice to get out of the way early so that you don't have to save ability points for that cutscene. That long cutscene. Speaking of cutscenes, we actually see Trojan decides not to skip the cutscene at the spirit tree. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, so what this does is, the reason you wouldn't skip it, as Trojan is doing, is to keep this teleporter. Richard skipped it, so he actually does not have use of that teleporter that Trojan is using right now as we speak. So he's going to have to walk back to Valley Entry unless we get something like a left side teleporter, which could not actually be that slow, assuming Richard finds Dash later on, for example.
Yep. And here we have Trojan leveling up. Was that water breathing, I think, as his
oh my goodness,
ability to skip into Blackroot. Usually we're not seeing that. Usually you head into Blackroot before you've pumped 12 ability points into that tree, something like that.
Usually you're leveling up like Magnet or Rekindle at the very bottom of the ability tree, but we're already all the way up past Charge Dash. My goodness.
Yeah, and I think if you're Trojan right now, you have to be really concerned. Like, you have to be saying, okay, please let there not be a skill in here. Please let there not be a skill in here, because you know that, like, 24 minutes, your opponent has probably maybe already done Blackroot.
Exactly. Really we know, of course, that there isn't really of much use in here. We've seen it from Richard. I don't think we saw past Raziel No, so there could be something down there, but it's not in logic. Or one pickup is. It is now.
All of it.
We have.
Oh, it wasn't then, yeah.
It wasn't when Richard was in there. But yeah, this is good from Trojan. He's going to be able to head down, check a bunch of things that are definitely in logic for him with this skill set, even if he decides to go down to the grenade tree as well. There's a lot of stuff for him to do here. Richard is heading towards the double jump tree. We'll see where he heads after that.
Yeah, and Trojan is going to be able to check the dash plant. We'll see if he does or how he decides to do it, but with glide and with grenade especially, it is definitely in logic for him, and we'll see if he feels the need to check it. And if he does, he'll get himself up to 6 sweet energy and 0 sour energy.
Yeah, not a whole lot to talk about at the moment, to be honest. Yeah. We're just kind of seeing some traversal and some cutscenes from Trojan. Seeing these 2 pickups. Actually, I don't know if we saw the XP, but I don't know that we can get it. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, Richard can't grab that pickup because he does not have that dash, which is just really unlucky at this point. The outer swamp loop never would have, there wasn't a good time to do the outer swamp loop for either of these runners except for when Trojan did it. So
it's even kind of an interesting choice that he did, because they found the grotto teleporter, so he didn't have to do the swamp loop to get to the grotto teleporter, and a lot of runners even wouldn't, but he's fortunate that he did because he found Dash there.
Well, yeah, but
and the water vein for that matter.
Given where he was never going to have a better time to check it.
It's very true.
So if you're in the mindset of, I want to not only route to go to the highest density areas, but I don't want to orphan areas that have low density, he had a great time to do it, and it paid off. But I think it was definitely pretty intelligent routing if you want to be thorough.
Yeah, there is another school of thought that says just rush to the trees as fast as you can, pretty much. But that would have missed Dash in this seed, so there you go.
Yeah, and now we're going to see
at the moment. This is interesting to me. He can't be thinking of heading left.
I think he might want to check these things that he missed in Valley Entry, and by that I think he's just worried about that EXP being something and being burned on that.
Very possible.
This is a slow check, unfortunately, and maybe a sign that Richard isn't quite sure of what is in logic for him or what he wants to check here. He could also be checking, thank you Truck, the EXP in the water that is further along this area.
True. It is possible for Bash to be there, for example. Trojan found an extra double jump behind the boulder down here. That's kind of nice. He's up to a triple jump already and quad soon enough.
Well,
always just kind of a nice thing to have.
He is up to triple jump in terms of if he had double jump, he would have 3 jumps, but he does not have double jump, so he's really...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought we did. My bad.
Yeah, me neither. Trying to think of reasons why you could have been confused.
If he finds double jump, then we'll have that.
Alright, he gets a Hell Cell. He also gets lasered. We'll see if he decides to go back further and check the far pickup he missed. If he does, I will...
Cell again. We're pretty low in terms of health amounts. Oh no, that's the laser still. That's the same spot.
That is the same laser. Well, I mean, here's the thing about science, right? You've got to... You can't just have a study group of 1, right? You have to repeat your experiments to verify. Trojan has verified that laser does kill him. N equals 2. It's twice as good as N equals 1.
Yeah, and he's not going to keep that health cell. Just check the experience and respawn this save. Might have been trying for a little... Or maybe just killing that frog, or potentially trying for a new strat found very recently to get over this area. But, and then going to actually do it the casual way, send some grenades over.
Yeah. And on the left, Richard has come back to the area where he was trying to save glitch this 4 energy door. He gets it open and finds nothing. But yeah, now we're going to see what Trojan finds at the grenade tree. I'm really curious to see what ends up being here.
Wouldn't doubt we see checks of the other 2 pickups in here as well, although maybe not. Doesn't look like... Oh no, he just wants to put his save there. Alright, fair enough.
Yeah, it's a great place to saves come from. Is he going to keep the health cell?
Looks like he is, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, right? Like, it doesn't take as long to keep as the other one he missed, and without clean water, like, not having
at
health...
least 5 or ultra defense. Or both is nice. It's just good safety.
Yeah. I mean, when you don't have Bash, you
check the top right pickup here, actually. That's a little bit rough, but we needed some sort of verticality to be able to check that, so Trojan is going to have to leave it behind.
Yeah, and we actually saw him save and reload because he set up to do a... he tried to level triple jump during his save anywhere to skip that cutscene, but he only had 2 ability points, so he had to... Oh my god, he finds Climb!
So we do find a skill here, just like we did in the last race between these 2, although a less useful one. We found Glide here last time. This time it's Climb. Climb is going to be okay. Like, it's not great. We already had wall jump. We didn't need the wall interaction. But if we find charge jump, then having Climb will allow access to grenade jumps, and that's going to be wonderful. Oh, do you see what I see, Richard, on the left?
Yeah, Richard is getting his dash, and
there we go.
Nice, and will bring him to skill parity. And
Ow.
Close to... Oh, he's back here. Like, he's not that far behind on trees. It's just, like, raw knowledge and locate, like, in terms of areas checked, it's going to be a bit of a time loss. I wouldn't be surprised to see him head to... oh my god. Trojan finds charge
That
jump.
was there the whole time?
Yes, it was!
Seed, please! That's so rude!
That is incredibly rude.
Richard tried to get that several times and gave up on it. I don't know if he could with his skill set, but he tried to get it. That's... Oh my goodness, please. But yeah, just like I said, we have Climb and Charge Jump now. That's grenade jumps.
Yeah. That is grenade jumps, and that is verticality.
Yeah,
enough verticality to get into Ginso, which Richard can now do, but he does not have that charge jump yet, and I don't know how long it'll take for him to get that, because that is unlocked by dash, but it's a one-off unlocked by dash, and I would be surprised to see him go there before he goes to, say, lower black route.
If he ever goes back for that. The only thing that could save Richard here is if he doesn't get a left side teleporter and has to walk back from spawn to get the valley entry again. He might run by it and say, "Oh, let me check this now." Now that I have dash,
Well, I mean,
and probably charge dash by that point, but he also probably won't.
there's an even darker timeline, and that's where that charge jump is forced progression. And honestly, with the amount of things Trojan checked, I think it might be.
It very well might, yeah. What does having charge jump unlock now that wasn't before? Does this pickup you just checked?
The Ginso tree. Literally the Ginso tree.
Can we get to the Ginso tree? Can we get to Stomp tree with this skill set as well?
Yeah, we got Stomp and charge jump. That is pretty easy upper path entry into Stomp.
We're getting a truck call that it might be the Death Gauntlet roof, also an option.
Yeah, a lot of things that you can get with charge jump, and like these verticality pickups in Glades that have been
we've missed a lot
forever.
Absolutely.
I think the Ginso tree is like pretty clearly the play, just in terms of incredibly high pickup density. But there's a lot of places that the next progression could be. So we will see what ends up happening. And it looks like Richard is going to head down and find his climb at the grenade tree.
I think I'm going to agree with you on the Ginso tree. There's a lot of pickups there. It's good to go there to get your bash, but it also just, in terms of tournament seeds, it seems like the Ginso tree is always important in some fashion.
Yeah, the Ginso tree...
If you're not already in go mode, then the Ginso tree has something, almost always, for some reason.
Yeah, and I mean, you could take this as a go mode, but I think either of our runners would really like to have one of either bash or double jump, and honestly both, right? Like, who's going to say no to bash or double jump?
Like, yeah, just like you said, you could do a go mode with this skill set. You have all the pieces you need to do everything that's left, but bash would make things 20,000 times easier. Oh, yeah, here we go. Trojan's going to check the Death Gauntlet roof.
See what he finds up here. Did he? I don't think he would have gotten the plant before because it was he didn't have verticality and doesn't usually go for C-Flame Berm strats. Richard gets his extra double jump, and a nice save scum from Trojan is going to let him get back towards the Ginso tree after finding that there was nothing in the Death Gauntlet roof.
Actually, him taking this route makes me think he's going to go to Stomp first. Check a couple pickups here in the Swamp Loop he missed before, and this looks like exactly he's going to be... Oh! Maybe a long save scum again, setting up a save there. Check a couple things, come back. Nice rocket jump.
Yeah, I think it's just a save scum to check that health cell. So yeah, I actually do really like this, heading into Swamp before going into Ginso. Just because then you do Ginso, then you can do right side. And it's not like either of the skills that he could find in the Ginso tree would be that great in terms of giving him checks into Stomp, or the Stomp tree area that he doesn't already have.
Yeah, the other reason I like this is because Stomp's a bit of a dead end. Like, you take this path to the Stomp tree and it stops there, whereas Ginso, you have bash halfway up and then there's more past it. And that more past it could be important if the Sunstone's up there, or could not. So putting the Ginso off until you have the Sunstone clue is also a very a decent enough logic play. But I'd also going there it's a good pickup dense place. Like, there's arguments either way.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that he could do is just do like a full clear of the Ginso tree to be very safe, and then just take down the swamp. And oh my god, Richard has gone to Forlorn.
Sure has. This might be a Kidu.
I think it was a map.
Or a map check in Altar. That also works.
He got his grenade tree, and I think he's not sure where to go next.
So we got a quick interruption, sorry. We got our next clue. Trojan hit his 6th tree, and it's just the clue for the water vein. So when Richard gets that, he's going to know that the water vein is in Swamp, but Trojan does not get any new information yet.
Oh, and Trojan can't do that efficient in and out routing for the Stomp tree because he, with his current health and skill pool, can't actually get out of the Stomp tree unless he does it the vanilla way, and no one wants to leave the Stomp tree the vanilla way. That is just the worst.
There's a mini boss there. I bet a lot of speedrunners didn't actually know that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's literally just a Rhino, though, right? Like, with this skill set, you charge jump, charge dash, and one-shot it with the 70 damage that affords you. I love that combo deals 70 damage. It's just so nice.
Alright, here we go. Trojan is going to head into Ginso right now. I'm going to call that Bash is in the Kidu room beyond the Bash tree. That's just my guess. We'll see if that's actually true, or if Trojan even goes up there.
I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, and I also like to make really poor decisions, I would put all my money for Bash on the Bash tree.
See, I got at least like 7 pickups.
teleporter.
You just got one. Trojan, Trojan. That is Trojan. Trojan finds the Sorrow teleporter. That's going to be very nice. Very, very fast access to the left side, and it's even easy with Climb, Charge, Jump, Glide.
Yeah, that is going to be so nice for him. That means that he can, like, if he really wants, he can be lazy about keystones because he can just not have to worry about them. It basically means he doesn't need Bash and basically puts him in go mode, honestly, if he's comfortable doing the escape with this skill set, because he will not need any more skills to get to the rest of the skill trees. I guess it does depend where the Sunstone is. Nice one cycle from Trojan Dude, fully charged.
I also like the charge dash redirect he did in the puzzle room, but Truck has pointed out something potentially worrying. That was the Sorrow teleporter. We have a good skill set. Bash could be in Sorrow.
Yeah, I've got another potentially worrying observation. If this next pickup isn't a keystone, Trojan's doing the key dupe, and he's doing the key dupe. Oh, the greed plays, man. I mean, it's not a terrible thing with this skill set. Oh,
is he? He is. Okay.
He is. Okay, good. It's not a hard key dupe. It's like a feels bad man moment.
It's just long.
Yeah. Hey. Anyway. Is he going to? Okay, he remembers to set up the save anywhere. Oh, he can get ultra defense here. That's pretty cool.
There you go. Now you gotta go back up. You're gonna have to go back up twice. Oh boy.
Yeah, but with the skill set, it is not slow, and Richard unfortunately does look pretty lost. Could definitely be an issue.
Right, Richard doesn't have any form of verticality left yet. We know where it is. It's above Sea Flame, but he does not have anything even really resembling it, and that is not a great feeling. You have so many skills and you still can't go up.
Yeah, being verticality locked like this, especially when you have rocket jumps that you can do some verticality checks, but you just know they're all out of logic. Definitely a really, really sad feeling. And I am excited to see where Trojan goes next. Unfortunately, I just lost all of my hypothetical money. Bash was not on the Bash tree.
He is not going to head past either. He's just going to take that Sorrow teleporter and go. So what this tells me is that Trojan is considering himself in go mode at this point. I believe he's saying, I'm comfortable enough with the Sorrow teleporter and this skill set to go collect the last 3 trees I need to go, or the 2 trees I need to get the clue for the Sunstone and then the last tree. If he wasn't feeling comfortable, I feel like he would have headed up to the pretty dense-ish area above the Bash tree, but he is going ahead and saying, let's go.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There is that area is way too dense to skip if you're not in go mode, and I really like this. This is like he's not. Oh, this is interesting. I guess we were wrong because he's checking. Okay,
no, he's only got one keystone right now.
Oh, okay.
The other thing is that he still doesn't have the Sunstone yet, so being semi-thorough in areas like this that he hasn't been to yet is kind of nice.
Oh, this is the do I want a key dupe or not decision, and he decides no.
Okay. He doesn't need any more keystones?
He also knows where one more keystone is, and the next most likely place that he would have to do a key dupe is in Ginso. Or the next most likely place he would need keystones is in Ginso, which he can key dupe. And oh nice, a health cell. He only has 4 of them.
So I hesitantly said need there because there are actually a couple keystone locked pickups left, and the Sunstone could be behind them. So we'll see if he needs that. Yeah, but just like you said, he knows where one more keystone is, so he can dupe if he needs that.
And he even knows where the Forlorn teleporter is, so he
yeah,
can get that whole keystone factory thing going. And now I'm sure we're going to see him drop down out of Sorrow and then grab Feather. I think we may see him stop for the 1 to 2 second pickups on the way down. That one, of course, is a 0 second pickup, but he can like go over here. Oh no, he doesn't even dash left for that keystone.
He's gonna get this ability cell though. A couple super fast checks.
Evan. Oh, Richard is going and checking this water pickup here. And we'll see what he finds. We haven't seen this from Trojan, so it could be... Oh my god, it's the...
Stone! Okay, well, I mean, I guess we needed that, but it's not what Richard needs right now to do really much more of anything. But he has that now.
Yeah, that is one Sunstone. And I mean, Trojan's going to get that Valley Clue now, but it might be a while before he makes his way there, because it's sort of in the middle of the two ways, like, it's like in the middle of a connecting path that he doesn't need anymore.
Yeah, okay, so that actually means that when Trojan gets the Sunstone Clue, it's going to be a Valley Clue, which is not great to see. He did just get it. Okay, so he has that Sunstone Valley Clue. He's going to go ahead and collect his climb tree first to get it out of the way. But Valley's not really a place you want to see. He's got a pretty good skill set. Not having Bash is kind of annoying, although workable in the Valley. But it's just so large and kind of long. And where we just saw the Sunstone might actually be the last thing that Trojan checks.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't check that last, it'll be because he decides to check that just right before going down to the Forlorn area. And we actually saw him skip a pickup that's in Valley, which is the first pickup in Misty. So lucky for him it wasn't there, because he just went right over it.
Considered in Valley?
Is it?
I thought that was still Misty.
No, I'm silly. I am wrong. That is in the Valley main area, but it is in the Misty zone. Please ignore me.
That is an interesting quirk of the Rando, and actually really funny.
Yeah. Richard is trying to make his way here. He wasn't able to get across. Yeah, he's checking the
Death Gauntlet roof from the casual route, which is much longer.
Yeah, I mean, this makes sense if he feels like he must, like, maybe missed a one-off that was clean water, but he takes a death, and now he's back here again. This is really where you're starting to feel pretty bad about how the seed's going. He has no energy, so he can't even save.
I have a feeling he's been feeling pretty bad about how this whole seed's been going for quite a while now. Being stuck like this, we know we call this getting randoed. He just forgot to pick up that the rando decided is the most important thing ever. And you're just not going to find it, and it's so disheartening to play.
Yeah, it is really a crushing feeling.
Especially after we had so much trouble with these two in their races yesterday as well. Just getting a third one for Richard here, it's just not great.
Not great is exactly the words I would use to describe it if I were in a setting where I couldn't use different words. So yeah, it's not great.
Thanks for that heads up info. Alright, Trojan has now started on his Valley check, looking for the Sunstone. He is going to be checking this route to Forlorn first, although he might actually head to the Valley entry as well via this lever.
He's checked everything in Valley entry, so I would be surprised if he went that way.
Yeah, never mind. So, he's going to check everything down here on the way to Forlorn, find out it's not there. Do you think... Oh no. If he somehow forgets about the XP that's in the water there, is he going to think about the Valley long swim and go maybe farm for clean water or health cells? That could be fun.
That would be incredibly powerful if that happened, but one thing with the ability points he has, one thing he might do, and that I've seen some runners do and really like, is just put the points in the purple tree to just get map markers and just make sure you haven't missed any EXP or keystones. And because that's an EXP, it'll show up with that 1 point investment.
Oh no. Oh no, Richard. Richard is heading in the direction of Lost Grove.
Oh
no.
It's called Lost Grove because only the truly lost will head there.
It's honestly true. I mean, he's got a couple checks here as well before he heads all the way down, but he very well might be thinking that's where the seed wants him to go at this point.
Yeah. He gets nasty, takes a little frog shot to the face and dies instantly, because that frog deals 5 damage for some unfathomable reason.
Alright, Trojan has checked all the things on the path to Forlorn. He's got a couple on the right side here, actually. The casual path to get up to the rocks to break to collect glide, so he's going to check those first, and this is kind of exactly what I kind of said, that he might check that underwater pickup as the very last thing besides the Valley long swim.
Yeah, and how exactly do you think he's going to try and get up to... Okay, damage boosting is how he's going to do it. And that actually wasn't that bad. Charge jump's a good skill.
It's a very good skill. Like,
And okay.
Having charge jump is one of the only ways. Charge jump and dash is like one of the few ways that I'll actually do a Bashless Valley entry in this exact area we are, just because of how good it is.
Yeah, definitely true. And charge jump is also what is unfortunately lacking from Richard's inventory. And yeah, I think it actually is going to be. And the only reason it's not literally the last pickup in Valley that he's checking is because he'll get it on the way to Valley Long Swim.
Here we go.
Yeah, and with this Sunstone pickup, Trojan is in go mode as Richard finishes murdering everything in the murder room on the way down to the Lost Grove.
That room's always a fun time when you have charge dash. Just get to spam a button and then everything's dead.
It's pretty good, but I don't imagine it feels very good for
Richard
right now. He
Richard
can't get
might
up
be
here.
stuck now.
Oh,
He doesn't need bash. He can get up here, but now what?
There's nothing to rocket jump off of.
Nope.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
So this is...
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just unfortunate. Like, we don't see this area very often, even in casual randomizers or anything. Like, even in doubles, like, you usually don't send someone down here, so... Being unfamiliar with the quirks of this area is understandable for Richard, but just unfortunate at the moment. Meanwhile, Trojan has made it all the way to Mount Horu, put his key in the door, and he will be finishing up soon enough.
And I mean, when you're 50 minutes into a seed and still haven't found your verticality, it is definitely reasonable to lose track of like the nitty-gritty details. And he's heading back into Forlorn.
Oh no. Are we gonna see some casual Forlorn strats?
Yeah, potentially, but because this is his second time here, he'll have to backtrack for the orb. Nice first try door warp from Trojan after a couple of really nice grenade jumps. Just breeze his way through the Horror Fields area, so that is really good find.
So, Trojan's skill set is a bit interesting for the final escape. No double jump, no bash. This is actually rather non-trivial.
Yeah,
so we'll
definitely.
See if he has any trouble with it. We've seen him have experience with bashless escapes in the past, though. I don't know if we've seen double jump lists out of him as well.
Ooh, he takes some damage on the spikes, and that is going to be really annoying just in terms of, he's going to decide to reset the escape right there just because you don't want to take any damage before you have to in this kind of escape. But he
Meanwhile, by the way, Richard found Wind Restored in Forlorn. So that's
oh my god. Hey, I mean, didn't travel far, I think is the usual meme here.
Warrior Trojan.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to worry about birds, but he does have to worry about getting far enough up on the wall that he doesn't take fire damage. Oh, actually, no, there's no fire damage because without the bird, it doesn't progress. And his health regen is slowly taking him back to safety, but he does have to get through this without taking a damage boost because he doesn't have clean water, which means he needs to get a grenade jump here.
Ow.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not sure if it's the only way, but what's probably the best way to get through that elemental room is going to be a grenade jump. See how Trojan fares with that.
I actually kind of disagree. I think the best approach for this escape is to use your 1 damage boost in the elemental room, C-dash across, and then C-jump up. That is not where you want to use your damage boost, and by that I mean the lava, because...
lava will insta-kill you.
Yeah. It is less of a damage boost and more of a damage break, in that it breaks your ability to continue forward.
How about we call it a death? That sounds like a good word for it.
Dude, that's so negative. Oh, another damage break here from Trojan.
Yes, the hard bit about what we're seeing Trojan do here is that lava pillar is from the locations that he can see, basically random. You kind of just need to play your cards and hope that it's out of the way for you. There we go. It's technically on a timer, but it's so hard to judge.
Yeah, and we'll see Trojan. Yeah, I think he's going to opt for the damage boost here, and he gets through. All right, he just has to get up, and now he's got... He does have ultra defense.
So he's going to be fine in this swim, even with the dirty water. There's some fish in the way.
Yep,
Let's just flame burn them out of the way. Nice.
Yep, and he is basically through. All he needs to do is get his grenade jump. And he will be good. He did dash into that, but I think he jumped back after.
He did. He's fine.
Okay, he is fine. And that is going to be it. A nice grenade jump from Trojan. GG. That will bring him to 2-1 and put him in the muffin zone.
Absolutely is going to be advancing to the round of 16. Unfortunately, Richard will be done with the tournament at this point, but has put up a great show thus far. Absolutely.
Yeah, really having maybe not the showing he'd want for his last race. Really just the randomizer being pretty rude in similar locations even.
And there we go. Trojan is finishing up a time of 53:08. And we are, in fact, going to see a forfeit from Richard as well, saying he doesn't quite want to finish the seed, which is perfectly fine. His decision. He knows he's lost the race.
Yeah, that honestly, seeing what this seed has done to Richard, I completely understand.
He's gonna go.
Already deleted the file. It's gone.
Nope, no more.
No, we're done here. It's over. Just get thee from my sight. Yeah, that is gonna be.
Yeah, we're just seeing some back and forth of the runners in SRL right now about how painful that seed really was, even for Trojan. So like we said, Trojan is advancing now. He's in the round of 16. He'll be going up against Covert Muffin soon enough, fighting for his tournament life against one of the scariest opponents in the whole thing.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be no easy feat for Trojan. That is really spooky. Muffin may be seed number 4, but he did win the last tournament, if I remember correctly.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
And he plays definitely a lot.
he plays so much randomizer. It's honestly unreal. Actually fake. He has a fake stream set up, and you can tell because like sometimes his webcam is a little crayon drawing of him. Yeah. Those are the fake streams.
Looking like we might get an interview with our winner, Trojan. See if we can get that soon.
Yeah. Just gotta make sure everything is ready for that.
There we go. Looks like we are going to be able to talk to him. Let's go ahead and drag him in. Yo, Trojan, GG.
Yo, thanks, guys. GG.
All right, so that seed was a little bit interesting. There was it feels like that charge jump pickup and that was really the most important thing there, and it was basically the gateway to being able to finish the seed. When you got that, did you feel like that was the moment when you could just say, I'm in go mode, let's go?
Skill mode, go mode, yes. I still needed health cells.
Of course.
Yeah, but I was in skill go mode, yes. I don't think I had gotten the Sorrow teleporter at that point, so I was like, well, I'll do the crappy stuff if I need to, but I'd rather not. So that's why I just went to Stomp Tree and Ginso first to try and find some health and maybe something that could help me along the way. And then when I saw Sorrow teleport, I'm like, all right, this is completely fine.
Yeah, we definitely saw that when you didn't progress past the Bash Tree and just didn't check up there. You're saying, I have Sorrow TP, I have C jump, let's go ahead. Earlier on in the seed, I also want to ask you, we had the Grotto teleporter, but you still took the long way around the swamp loop to get down to that area. Was that kind of an let's be thorough with my checks right now kind of thing? Or what was your thinking behind that?
Yeah, it was super early. And with that grenade pickup made me really, really wary. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to really skip stuff and just kind of like haphazardly go between teleporters. Let's just do the normal. Let's just do our like Iceless Crow cutscene checks. Then let's just do the swamp loop because I can check a lot of the stuff, including the grenade door. And what do you know? I found Dash there on my way. So that was 100% the reason why I was going to get to the grotto teleporter anyway, and I just felt like I shouldn't skip all this stuff.
And it paid off very well for you there.
Yeah.
So this whole best of 3 against Richard, the seeds haven't been particularly kind, though. Maybe this seed in particular, were you thinking this was the best of the 3 in terms of like ease?
I don't know. I felt like the first one might have been a little bit easier. It's really hard to say because they ended with the exact same skill set pretty much. The difference, I think, was just that charge jump pick came way later, and it really made the routing kind of awkward. So I'd say the first one was probably a little bit easier, and then this one's a little bit behind, just solely from how it was kind of a roundabout way of getting that charge jump pick.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, the first seed I think was a little more linear in terms of routing, as opposed to this one that like was super open early.
Yeah, agreed.
So with this victory, you are now going to advance to the round of 16, and you're going to be facing the one, the only, the covert, the Muffin. How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts going into that match?
God help me.
Fair.
No. In all honesty, like I went up against Covert in round 4 of Swiss after I got through 3-0. And I feel like after going against him, I have a much better like mentality of I have to do X and X in order at this point to be aggressive and just finish the game, because I know he will. And that's something like in the practice, over the course of the next week, I'm going to really focus on is pushing myself kind of how I did in the first and the third match in this one, to just kind of like as soon as I get the bare minimum, I'm going. And if I can just kind of, harness that a little bit more, I've got a better chance. Any seed that has grenade jumps, I lose. Just because he knows like every single grenade jump setup under the sun. Like if it's a grenade jump setup and I have dash, then it's probably not as bad. But if it's a normal grenade jump setup, then I'm kind of doomed. But what I'm just going to do is just practice what I can practice, and maybe hopefully I can take at least one off of him.
Sounds good. We'll see how you do in that whenever that match decides to happen. Best of luck to you, Trojan.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, and GG again on your victory here today in this game of Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition Randomizer Standard Clues.
Thank you for... I wasn't sure
Best
what
of
I was
3.
playing. Thank you.
Yeah,
Forgot the best of 3 part.
I did forget the best of 3. I also forgot the version of the DLL and the seed generator.
How
and
did you forget the
was
version?
encrypted.
I'm gonna cut the memes off there. That's gonna do it for us for Ori today and tonight. We don't actually have any races scheduled for tomorrow, but we do have some for the weekend. So please stick around, check the schedule. We'll have plenty of races for you in the coming month. I've been Shed. I've been joined by Aiko. Thank you to our truckers, Nins, and Poogle. Thank you to our restreamer, Smashy. And we'll see you all later.
Thank you, Shed.